A Master Sergeant is the military rank for a senior non-commissioned officer in some armed forces. Israel Defense Forces. The Rav Samel Rishon is a non-commissioned officer rank in the Israel Defense Forces. Because the IDF is an integrated force, they have a unique rank structure. IDF ranks are the same in all services. The ranks are derived from those of the paramilitary Haganah developed in the British Mandate of Palestine period to protect the Yishuv. This origin is reflected in the slightly compacted IDF rank structure. United States, U.S. Army. The 8th enlisted grade, ranking above Sergeant First Class and below Sergeant Major, Command Sergeant Major, Sergeant Major of the Army, and equal in grade but not authority to a First Sergeant. It is abbreviated as MSG and indicated by 3 chevrons above 3 inverted arcs, commonly referred to as rockers. A Master Sergeant is typically assigned as a brigade-level section non-commissioned officer in charge and serves as the subject matter expert in his or her field, but may also hold other positions depending on the type of unit. The equivalent grade First Sergeant is the senior non-commissioned officer of a company, battery, or troop. The rank of Master Sergeant is usually held by staff members serving as NCOICs, as well as commonly held by the motor pool NCOIC as the advisor to the motor pool chief, who is usually a warrant officer. When holding the position of First Sergeant, while uncommon, the Master Sergeant is referred to as First Sergeant. However, when not in the position of First Sergeant, Master Sergeants are addressed as Sergeant. This is the standard address for all pay grades E5 through E8. Use of the term top or Master Sergeant is not a requirement, but is considered courteous and remains to be at the discretion of the one addressing the Master Sergeant. In 1920, the Army combined several regimental-level staff NCO ranks, including 4 grades of Sergeant Major, 3 grades of Quartermaster Sergeant, Regimental Supply Sergeant, Senior Ordnance Sergeant, Senior Band Sergeant, 4 grades of Senior Master Sergeant, and 7 additional master-level technical and specialist ranks into the new Master Sergeant rank. Master Sergeant then became the senior enlisted rank, ranking above Technical Sergeant and First Sergeant, while Sergeant Major became a courtesy title for the senior Master Sergeant in a battalion, squadron, or higher headquarters. In 1942, the rank of First Sergeant was elevated 1 grade and was then considered as a junior version of Master Sergeant, because while First Sergeants served as senior NCOs at the company, battery, troop level, Master Sergeants held positions as the senior NCO in their MOS at battalion, squadron, and higher level headquarters. In 1958, both First Sergeant and Master Sergeant were elevated 1 grade to the new E8 pay grade, while the rank of Sergeant Major was restored as the senior enlisted rank at the new pay grade of E9. U.S. Marine Corps. The 8th enlisted grade, ranking above Gunnery Sergeant and below Master Gunnery Sergeant, Sergeant Major, and Sergeant Major of the Marine Corps. It is equal in grade to First Sergeant, and is abbreviated MSGT. In the U.S. Marine Corps, Master Sergeants provide technical leadership as occupational specialists at the E8 level. Most infantry Master Sergeants serve as the operations chief of a weapons company, in place of the gunnery sergeant found in the company headquarters of a rifle company. Infantry Master Sergeants also serve as the assistant operations chief in the S3 section of the headquarters of an infantry regiment and Marine Expeditionary Unit, and in the G3 section of the headquarters of a Marine Expeditionary Brigade. The Marine Division and Marine Expeditionary Force headquarters contains 2 infantry Master Sergeants, one as the training NCO and the other as the readiness chief. Some combat support battalions have master sergeants at the company level. In Marine aircraft squadrons, MSGTs usually serve as NCOICs of the Ordnance and Avionics divisions in the Aircraft Maintenance Department. The Aircraft Maintenance Chief (NCOIC) is usually AMGYSGT, and there are 8 aviation-related MSGT billets in each Marine Aviation Logistics Squadron, and performs intermediate aviation supply, aircraft maintenance, and aviation ordnance support for its supported aircraft squadrons. Most non-infantry master sergeants serve as section chief (NCOIC) of their MOS-type staff section in a battalion, a higher-level headquarters. General command leadership at this pay grade is provided by the separate rank of first sergeant. Only in the Marine Corps are master sergeants required to be addressed as master sergeant. In the Marine Corps, master sergeants may be referred to by the nickname of top. This usage is an informal one, however, and would not be used in an official or formal setting. Use of this nickname by Marines of subordinate rank is at the rank holder's discretion. In the U.S. Armed Forces, all master sergeants are senior non-commissioned officers. However, in the U.S. Marine Corps, the non-commissioned officer ranks of staff sergeant and above are classified as staff non-commissioned officers, a classification that is unique in U.S. usage to the USMC, U.S. Air Force, the 7th enlisted grade, ranking above technical sergeant and below senior master sergeant. It is abbreviated as MSGT. Advancement to Master Sergeant is one of the most significant promotions within the enlisted Air Force. At the rank of Master Sergeant, the airman enters the senior non-commissioned tier and transitions his AHA duties from frontline technicians and supervisors to operational leaders. An operational leader develops his AHA leadership and management skills, since this rank carries increased broad leadership, supervisory, and managerial responsibilities rather than technical performance. Per Air Force Instruction 36-2618, Master Sergeants do serve in positions as Squadron Superintendents, Flight Chiefs, Section Chiefs, and Non-Commissioned Officer in Charge. Compared to U.S. Army or U.S. Marine Corps organization, a squadron superintendent, a flight chief, and the subordinate section chiefs are approximately equivalent to platoon sergeants and section squad leaders, respectively. Also, master sergeants are the lowest rank in the Air Force at which one can hold the special duty position and responsibilities of a first sergeant. Air Force first sergeants occupy the pay grades of E7 through E9 and are referred to officially as first sergeant, regardless of pay grade, and unofficially as first shirt or shirt. In 1991, the Air Force changed its NCO insignia so that a maximum of 5 stripes, or rockers, were placed on the bottom of the chevrons. The Master Sergeant rank insignia was changed by removing the bottom rocker and relocating it above as a single chevron, on top of the 5 lower stripes. In 2015, the Air Force announced its promotion overhaul and newly established boards for Master Sergeant. Singapore. In the Singapore Armed Forces, a Master Sergeant is a senior-level specialist, ranking above Staff Sergeant and below Third Warrant Officer. In the Singapore Army, Master Sergeants are usually instructors, staff specialists, or sergeant majors of battalion or company-sized units. Greece. In the Hellenic Army, Master Sergeant is the second rank of non-commissioned officer. The rank is above the Staff Sergeant and below the Chief Master Sergeant. Vietnam. In the Vietnam People's Army, Master Sergeant is the highest rank of non-commissioned officer.